Hey everyone, my name is Jessica Wright, and today I'll be presenting Jane Elliott's famous Blue Eyes, Brown Eyes. This experiment was absolutely full of controversy, and it was a way to teach children about racism. In 1968, right after Martin Luther King was assassinated, Jane Elliott, an elementary school teacher, wanted to show her third graders what discrimination feels like instead of just talking about it. She divided her students by eye color, blue-eyed kids and brown-eyed kids, and told them that blue-eyed students were smarter, better, and even more deserving. She gave the superior group extra privileges and treated the inferior group unfairly. After a few days, she switched groups. The goal of her experiment was to help her students truly understand how racism feels by experiencing it for themselves. Rather than using textbook, she wanted her students to feel the unfairness and cruelty firsthand. The results were dramatic. The kids in the superior group quickly became bossy and mean, while the inferior group became shy, insecure, and even did worse on their schoolwork. Once the groups were switched, everyone got a taste of what it felt like to be treated unfairly, and many of the students later described the experience as life-changing. While the lesson was powerful, it definitely wasn't perfect. There were real emotional impacts. Kids were visibly upset, angry, some even cried. Also, Jane Elliott used deception. She didn't ask for permission from the parents or psychologists ahead of time. So today, many experts would say that it was way too harsh for 8-year-olds and that better emotional support should have been provided afterwards. By today's ethical standards, the experiment wouldn't be allowed without a lot of changes. First, there was no informed consent, neither from the parents nor the students. Second, it caused emotional harm, even if it was only temporarily. In 2025, a school would need a signed consent, mental health screening, and a psychologist on site to approve something like this. If I were to change Jane Elliott's experiment, I would get parental permission first, have a counselor or psychologist involved, and make sure that the students could talk about their feelings after the experience. This would help protect their emotional health while teaching the same important lesson about discrimination. In conclusion, even though Jane Elliott's experiment was harsh, it opened a lot of eyes, both back then and even today. It showed how fast prejudice can be learned and how deeply it can hurt. While I think it could have been done more safely, her message about racism is just as important now as it was then. Here are the references that I used for this project, including a peer-reviewed journal article that studied the long-term effects of the experiment.